Hey everyone, Mario here. I wanted to discuss today a few simple tweaks I've made to circuit training that allow you to build muscle. So basically, the goal here is not like traditional circuit training, which was typically for leaning down or maintaining the amount of muscle you have as you lean down. So I've tweaked it in a way that you can actually build muscle. And what's cool about this is that it saves time. This is the whole reason for my working with this to achieve that end goal. It's to build muscle, of course, but it's also to save time. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't do it because I like the variety of full out workouts. I like spending time in the gym. It's something I enjoy doing. But as you get a little older, you've got kids, you've got a wife, maybe a spouse. You just time seems to always be very scarce. So this is why I came up with it. So let me just get right into it. You could look up circuit training and traditional circuit training and see what that's about. Right now I'm going to focus on what I do. And it's not something I do all the time or every week, but when I want to have a shorter workout, I do utilize this, and it's very effective, nearly as effective as doing a full 3-hour workout in the gym that would consist of two major muscle groups, maybe a smaller muscle group, and possibly some cardio. So and like I said, it's almost as effective, yet instead of it taking 2-3 hours, it'll take 30 minutes. And that's a huge difference there. That's a very big difference. So you're saving, 3/4 of the time than you otherwise would, if not much more than that. So so here's what I do. I treat it like a traditional weight training routine, or weekly training routine. So, for example, let's say I would do on Mondays, I would normally do chest and biceps. And let's say abs. Let's just say abs, chest, biceps. I would start with abs, do a very quick ab workout. Abs can be, there's people that spend hours on a week on this, but honestly speaking, if you have a good diet and you're doing regular weight training, so your metabolism is up and everything is functioning the way it should, you don't have to do much abs to have abs. You don't have to do much many ab exercises, etc., etc. So let's say you do 2 sets to failure of maybe one of crunches and one of knee raises, on a bench or on your couch or on the floor, whatever. You can complete that within 5 minutes, and then move on to the 2 major muscle groups. And this, of course, is mostly for those muscle groups, the bigger muscle groups. So I would, let's say in this example, take chest and biceps. And the way it works is typically with circuit training, you would go do almost a full body workout and do maybe one set, only one exercise of each muscle group, and then you would repeat that 2 more times. So you're basically doing 3 sets, but over the course of the 30 minutes. Within the first 10 minutes, you're doing 1 set of each, and then you just continue that way. I mean, you continue that way for really the whole 30-minute period. And it might come out to equate to doing 3 sets of an exercise, because you're going to repeat that after you've completed your whole body, 1 set of each, and then you go back to and do 1 set of each. Some people do different exercises. Either way, I think that doesn't change much. What's different between mine is that you're only working 2 major muscle groups, and so the focus really is on those muscles, and the rep range is lower. Typically with circuit training, you're going to do 30 reps on there. With my style, it's keeping it within the normal rep range. So you're going to work out about 6 to 12 reps, somewhere within realm. And if you have a pair of dumbbells that you could be utilizing, then it's beneficial, obviously, if they're selectorized dumbbells that you can actually adjust the weight, or if you have a dumbbell set, a set of multiple dumbbells, ranging from, for example, 5 to, let's say, 50 or 60 pounds. That'd be great too. But if you don't have either of those, because both are quite expensive, having a whole host of dumbbells is the most expensive. Selectorized dumbbells themselves are quite expensive. If you want to kind of save money, or just don't have the space to hold all of these dumbbells, and to have the dumbbell rack, for example, with the selectorized dumbbells, you can actually buy a small pair of 5-8. I would say a person really needs at least 8 pounds for this type of workout, but it could be done with a 5-pound pair of dumbbells. It could even be done probably with a can of pea soup in each hand. I mean, honestly speaking, a couple of pounds on each side will work just fine, because it's still somewhat similar to circuit training, where lighter weight is used. But like I said, you're going to perform the same number of reps that you would in a traditional resistance training workout. So the reason, how I tweak things to get to that, to stay within that rep range, when I only have, for example, a 10-pound pair of dumbbells at my disposal, is basically doing the reps more slowly. So, a workout could take 35 minutes, it might take 25, but it doesn't stray away too far from there. It might take a little longer, like I said, but you're still saving so much time compared to doing a traditional, weight training workout and doing cardio and, in a gym setting where you're sometimes waiting for a machine to become available, etc., etc. So an extra 10 minutes won't kill you. Either way, doing the reps a little bit slower, and keeping in mind that you're not resting in between sets, compared to traditional weight training, muscle building training, where you're usually, some people wait, up to 3 minutes or more, especially if they're conversing with others. The workouts seem to take forever to be completed. So you're not resting in between. So it's quite intense. And even that 5-pound pair of dumbbells, for example, or 10-pound pair of dumbbells feels quite heavy after 15 minutes or so of working out this way. Either way, whether you're using dumbbells or just body weight training exercises, after about 15 minutes, you're really going to start to feel a pump, and it's a great feeling. It's honestly speaking, it's almost equates to doing a full out weight training workout in a larger commercial gym. And I'm not exaggerating. If you know your body well and you can do things well, and like I said, the reps will most likely be a little slower, and this is to compensate for using lighter dumbbells, for example, or using even your own body weight only, as opposed to squatting, for example, with a plate or 2 plates attached to a barbell, on your back. I mean, you're going to have to find some form of compensation. So doing the reps slower, I would say, works best. If you make the reps higher and you still want that whole workout to be shorter, meaning not take too long, then you would have to, you won't be able to do the 30 kind of reps or so. If you this is really complicated, but if you do 30 reps, for example, it would still be okay, but the workout's going to last quite long, because you can't do it quickly. If you do it quickly, it becomes more cardio centric, so aerobic centric, so a more aerobic. It's starting to target your heart more, which makes you basically ultimately burn more fat and not so much concentrate on the muscles themselves, if that makes sense to you. But that's really what happens. So This is why I suggest performing the reps slower and keeping the rep range lower. Because once again, there's two goals here. It's not just building muscle, it's also saving time. So you guys got to keep that in mind, that there's always a reason almost why we do something, and even our goals have a sort of mirroring reason or something that goes alongside it. And in this case, it's very much time, and time seems to be the factor associated with almost everything. So I'm sure it's easy for you guys to understand. In any case, perform the reps more slowly. Go from one muscle group to another, and you can do the same exercise like over and over for about 30 minutes. Same exercise for each of the two muscle groups. You can do that. I like the variety, and I think it's good because to switch it up, because you also want to target different parts of each of those muscle groups. So the long head, the short head, of biceps, for example. Like if you do always the same thing, you're gonna only target a certain part of the muscle. So in any case, and this is done like every day. You're gonna do your traditional normal muscle building routine, but instead of, like I said, spending 3 hours in the gym, you can just do it this way. And to offer another example, let's say Wednesdays is back and triceps, and maybe calves, or let's just say calves, back, triceps. So you'll start with calves, similar to the abs. You finish them, do a couple of sets of that, 3 or 4 sets, and then and very concentrated. And keep in mind, when you're working out at home and no one's around and you're not distracted in any way, a set is almost like equates to almost 3 sets in the gym. I mean, think about it. As much as we might be pushing more weights, the ego gets in the way. You're resting a little bit too long in between sets. There's certain things that hinder your progress without you even realizing it. So when you're at home in this kind of controlled environment that you have full, let's say, access to, or can push things really to your maximum potential, even with limited equipment, even with limited time, if you're looking to save time, the workouts are almost better in a way, and sometimes can be. So don't think this is, the working out your calves in 7 minutes is a bad thing. I mean, it could be done, and I sometimes take calves as a weak point, and yet as of recent they're improving, and I work out this way. I complete like 3-4 exercises of the same exercise, or one sometimes 2 sets of an exercise for about 3 exercises. So, and that's the most, so up to like 6 sets, and often I'll do only like 4 or 5 sets. So it's not that much even for a guy my size, yet it brings results better than when I used to spend 35 minutes working on my calves on various machines, multiple sets, multiple exercises, using different types of exercises, switching it up almost every week. I mean, those things weren't really working for me. But at home, there's hardly any rest in between sets. The water's right next to you. I mean, everything just kind of flows a little more naturally. Even if you don't have that sort of energy that you would find in a commercial gym, open the TV, put on a show that you like, and the workout. You'll almost not notice that you're working out, but by the same token, the workout will be great. So aside from that, I was saying that on this second day of training, you would do calves, for example, and then you would do the back triceps circuit style workout, similar to chest biceps, and then repeat that for let's say on Fridays, maybe you could do cardio and legs, shoulders, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's the same format, same weekly schedule, same number of reps, but you're not resting in between sets. you're alternating between the two muscle groups. So you're not finishing one and then, all of the sets for that and all of the exercises for that muscle group and then moving on to the next muscle group. You're switching between the two muscle groups back and forth, set after set. And very little rest in between sets, and more lighter weights can be used because it's quite intense in every regard, in both regards, in terms of burning fat and also building muscle. It's quite intense. You're not resting in between sets, so the pump kind of stays even if you're going from one muscle group to another. The blood's flowing through your body and you're not resting, and it's pretty excellent for I would say for increasing muscle mass. A lot of people, I'm sure, are going to watch this and be a little confused and say, how can this be possible? Honestly speaking, you do have to understand your body and be able to communicate with your body well enough to pull this off. But I think many people are at that point where they've been training for a year or 2 years and they don't get great results, but they're very good at listening to their body. And I think many times we get swayed by the the fun, kind of like, not the fun stuff, but the things that impress others, the entertainment value of like pushing heavy weights and impressing someone of the opposite sex or the same sex, or it doesn't really matter. I think a lot of people, they kind of they're a little delusional in that, like, they're forgetting what the whole point of them working out is. It's to help them achieve their goal. And as you age, then there's, like I said, there's this new kind of goal that comes into the picture. It's not something you like very much, but it comes into your life and you have no choice. But and it's time. It's to be able to save time. Saving time is so crucial to having a balanced life as you take on more and more responsibilities. So try this type of workout out. I think you'll enjoy it. Maybe I'll name it and label it the Mario method or something like that, or the Fanzolato method, because I really haven't heard many people talk about this. I don't think many or anybody uses it to build muscle. The whole industry of muscle building is very almost old in a way. Not much has changed. You hear about pyramid training, you hear about strength training and heavy lifting, and you hear about not shocking the muscle, but about kind of surprising the muscle and doing different types of exercises with every workout, switching things up, keep the muscles guessing. But other than that, you hear about, maybe the more modern ones are occlusion, like blocking your blood flow. Honestly, and I would say a lot of those are kind of like fads. I think they're things to sensationalize and to bring some sort of entertainment value, or not, maybe make it more fun, make training more fun. But although I don't know how, doing something that takes such a great deal of time just to set up is really fun. I think, like anything that kind of is not necessary for me is like, it's a waste of time. So in any case, I don't want to, I don't want to downplay those things and say that none of them work, or make it ridicule them in any way. I just want to say that this is my method of training here, which is not something I utilize every week. Like I said, I like the variety of local gyms, commercial gyms. I like also training in outdoor gyms. I like bodyweight training, but I also like using home training devices like suspension trainers and various strength bands and stuff like that. But I think ultimately what a person needs to be consistent is to at least have access to these sort of quick workouts, because there's going to be periods where you just don't have the time or the space to do full out weight training workouts. Cardio can always be done outside. You go for a quick jog, or you could run up and down the stairs in your apartment building. It's very accessible. But weight training, or resistance training rather, is not so much accessible. So if you can have a method that keeps things shorter and is space saving, and like I said, possibly even portable, then it makes it very diverse and allows you to kind of be dynamic. Sorry, is what I wanted to say. It allows you to be dynamic and bend based on your current lifestyle outside of muscle building. So utilize this, try it. I'm sure I missed one or two important points. Generally speaking, like I said, you treat it like a traditional weekly training schedule. Although when you work out the muscles, you're just alternating from one to the other. You don't rest in between sets. The reps are kept low, just as you would with traditional resistance training. And reps should be performed not too quickly. We covered this. Faster reps would lead to quicker movements, which basically makes you sweat more, and targets more the heart, targets more the lungs. It basically makes you sweat more, and with the side benefit of course, there's a benefit to this. You're not just going to do it sweat, but it helps you burn fat. But if you keep the reps low, you're really concentrating on the muscles. And you would think it's impossible to get results out of this. Try it. That's all I'm saying. Give it a shot. I think you'll really, really like it. I honestly think that. I'm looking at the time. This video's over 20 minutes. I wanted to keep it a little shorter than that. If ever you need kind of like a bullet point list of this, I will be adding this program to my site. My site is veb.org. Check it out. And there are, of course, other programs and other methods I utilize occasionally. And they're all with the purpose of building muscle. Check out the site. I've been, kind of teeter-tottering between making it a fitness site and a general fitness site and a muscle building website, but the muscle building aspect, either way, will always be at the forefront. So if that's your goal, definitely check it out, and you can support this channel by doing so. So all the best to you, and I hope this circuit style workout will work for you. Call it the Mario method, call it the Fanzolato method, whatever you want to call it, but it can make a change in your life if you haven't been consistent with your workouts for some of the reasons I listed. It not being accessible to you, it taking too long when you have too much of a busy lifestyle. Then I think you'll find it very useful. And you gotta, as with all types of training, you gotta give things a couple of weeks, I would say at least a month, before you know for sure if this can work for you. And I will do it 1 week and 1 week I won't. Kind of switch things up. But there's been periods where I did this for like over a month and a half. You don't really get sick of it. It's the same as being in a gym. You have to make the most out of what you have, and you can add variety by, like I said, adding a pair of dumbbells, using resistance bands. These things, you can find a 5-pound pair of dumbbells for like $5. There's people giving these away. So you really have no excuse to not add some variety to your workout if you were only utilizing this method, but not maybe only doing body weight training exercises, which I think you'll get sick of at a certain point. So if you want to add a bit of variety, get a reclinable bench. Once again, you can find them on local classifieds for under $50. And it'll help you perform upright sort of presses, whatever. Reclinable bench typically goes from upright to flat. Some go even to decline and come with a sort of foot ankle support pad, which allows you to be at a decline, so it would offer even more variety. Maybe it has something to hold on to for abs. I mean, try to make your workouts a little bit more diverse by exploring with some of these pieces of equipment. They're very, very cheap on local classified sites. So if money is an issue, honestly, you still have no excuse. You can find these things for nothing, almost nothing. People sometimes give them away for nothing. So all the best to you, and check out the site. Once again, it's veb.org, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Thanks.